disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
Welcome once again to another episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks, the podcast about martial arts, movies, and life. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me, as always, my podcast partners, Joe Hartley and Angel Diaz. What's up, fellas?
What's up?
What's happening?
If this is your first time with us, I want you to know we are members of the Martial Arts Internet Network. On Mondays, you've got Raw with Mimi and Lump. Tuesdays is CTE with Chris Lopes and Travis. Wednesdays is us, Fists, Kicks, and Flicks with G, Mike, Joe, and Angel. And on Thursdays, you can get the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. For more information, you can check us out on all of our social media platforms. Just look for the Martial Arts Internet Network on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Fellas, it's showtime. What's going on?
Gene. So easygoing weekend for the most part. A lot of fancy football drafts. Still got a couple to finish out the season, and then kids started school today, so that was fun. My oldest is started high school. Little man's in 5th grade, and my middle one's in 7th grade. So,
okay, all right. Bugs, what's going on, man? What's going on with you?
Nothing much. I love this. Nothing much. I'm just.
You sound a lot better. You sound clear.
Yeah, I had to invest with no help to my team. I had to invest in a microphone, ring light, which I'm making me look exquisite right now. I even got like a little power strip for my computer, so I can plug everything in, and I can hit the buttons. It's like a switchboard power strip, so I can like click the button on and off. It's nice. But yeah, everything's going good. My weekend was pretty chill. Didn't really do much actually this weekend. I'm not gonna be doing much for a while in terms of competing, so I'm just kind of chilling and enjoying this free time.
Are you on break into Diamonds?
No, I'm actually injured. I can't even. I can't even go to Diamonds. I can't go to Wales. Can't go anywhere for. I think I got 6 weeks left, 6 to 10.
Oh, okay. You pretty much done for the year then. Yeah,
like if I go, it would only be Miami, and that's it. And at that, I'm like 50-50 on what I'm gonna do. But I'm also, I also want to finish the year the way I started it. So I'm trying to go, but we'll see what my body allows me to do.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I had a pretty relaxed weekend also. Just pretty much chilled. Of course, me and Mel hung out. Took care of some stuff, and then we had the kids yesterday. And you saw when we took them to. Have you ever been to that place before, Joe? Marvin's. What is that? Marvelous
Mechanical Museum.
Yeah, I can't say all that.
That's my spot.
I've known about that place for years, man. Yesterday was the first time I had ever been there. I mean, literally like 20 years I've known about that place. And I just never went over there, never ever thought to, venture into that. But they had a good time, man. There was a lot of old school video games in there. Me and Champ was playing the old Ninja Turtle arcade game. Yep. He was playing Donkey Kong. He played the Simpsons game. And then DJ, she was playing some games also. They won a bunch of tickets. Champ told me to hold his. He didn't want to. He wanted his tickets to add up. So he told me to hold on to them.
It's the way to do it.
He's a smart man. He's gonna be great. His bank account.
Yeah. Man, Joe, tonight we lost power at the dojo.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. That storm that came through. Came through a couple hours ago. I'm literally about to start class. We got done saying the student creed, doing the jumping jacks, and the power just goes out of the whole dojo. I didn't stop class, man. I had my phone, man. I turned on the flashlight on my phone, on both phones, my personal phone and my work phone.
All them ring lights you had?
But they weren't at the dojo, man. They're here at the house. Yeah, they're here at the house. So, I turned on my flashlights on my phones, and then my parents did also. So we had a class in the dark for just the 6 o'clock class. I didn't do the 6:45 class.
Yeah.
It's only the team and adults. And they didn't come anyway, so that was cool. I waited around for about.
My wife
10
was at
after.
Kroger and the
Mhm.
power went out, and they had a big line,
Mm-hmm.
so that just messed everything up. But we got power over here, so I'm happy. My
Yeah,
parents don't.
as long as I had it at the house, I was good.
Yeah.
Melissa, she was at Target when it came through, so she said that they had to wait before they could leave out of Target.
My mother-in-law just sent a mass text showing the grid, and there's like already 400,000 people out. So I guess we're lucky.
Yeah, exactly. My power goes out all the time too, so knock on wood.
Yeah, right there with you, bro.
Hopefully my power stays on all throughout the night. Don't need any issues. The kids started school today. Those two total opposite. Champ was not ready to go back to school. That's what all he was talking about yesterday. He was like, I don't want tomorrow to come. He did not want to go back to school today. Meanwhile,
Really?
DJ on the flip side, DJ was ready to go back to school. So
I thought at that age everybody liked school.
Nah, Champ takes after his dad, man. I wasn't big into school, so he definitely did not. He was not feeling it and did not want to go. But I went there. I always go and see him on his first day of school. So I went out. I got up early this morning and went up to the school to see him off as he went in for his 3rd grade. So
Okay.
yeah.
Before you know it, he's gonna be in 7th grade and then high school. It's gonna be crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, he he's 9 now, so time definitely flew by. Those 9 years that it seemed like he was just born. And that time just flew by. Let's talk about this movie. This is The Protector we're talking about this week. You guys like this movie? This is your movie.
So I kind of forgot about this movie, and I'm gonna say this: the karate in the movie, I enjoyed.
Yes,
The movie itself was weird.
It was.
It was all over the place. It was all over the place, and I don't remember it being like that. So I must have.
No,
2005. So I think I watched this when it came out.
Same thing. I said the same. I said, "Am I watching the right movie?" I don't remember this all happening in this movie. It's crazy.
It's the right movie, but okay, so even the beginning. So it starts off the whole thing. I'm thinking it's all going to be subtitled, but I'm like, I thought there was a dubbed version of this, and then 20 minutes later, it's all English.
Yep.
And I was like, I've never seen a movie like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, literally, they were in Thailand, speaking nothing but whatever they're speaking over there. I don't know the language or whatever. And then all of a sudden, it was English. So I'm like, okay, cool. And then, some spots had some more, but for the most part, most of the movie was dubbed. And I was like, okay, cool.
Also, it seemed like it was 2 different editors on this movie. Because at the beginning of the movie seems different than the end of the tail end of the movie when it comes to editing. Because there were times toward the end of the movie where you will see a scene and it literally will be not even a full sentence, or maybe a sentence, and then switching to the next scene. No background. Next thing you know, people are in the car, and that was a scene where the police officer says to how do you pronounce his name? Karam. I can't pronounce it. I don't know. Well, however you
H-A-M. So Cam.
He turns to him. We leave one scene, we go to that scene, they're sitting in the car, and he says, I think we need to go back. And the next scene, literally after he says that, we are back in that church as it's on fire. And I was just like, whoa, that was dumb. That was some bad editing right there. Like I didn't get that at all.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So I'm gonna do the synopsis on this movie. So basically, the Protectors are a group of people which protect these elephants. These elephants, I guess royalty rides these elephants into battle. So the king and his army ride these elephants into battle. And these Muay Thai martial artists, their job is to protect the elephants from poachers.
Yeah.
So my question immediately, as this movie got going, was where are the other protectors?
Yeah, I was
Because
wondering the same thing.
because once the two of these elephants get kidnapped by poachers, it's just Calm who goes out to bring them back and protect them. Nobody else goes. I didn't get that.
This village kind of seemed like maybe it was a lost art, and it was like he was the last one or something.
That's what I got. That's exactly what I got.
That's what it said also. But we saw other people at the beginning of the movie when when him and his dad were hanging out, and we saw a bunch of other people who were riding these elephants, and then they stopped to eat because his dad's elephant, I guess, found an elephant girlfriend, and
that scene was silly.
Yeah, they decided to go off into the to the jungle and have some fun.
They literally the whole idea of that scene was silly because you see him go off with the girl, and then instead of them coming back together, all of a sudden a baby elephant comes out. It's like,
yeah. He walked up to her, he whispered some sweet nothings in her ear. He says, why don't you come fill my trunk? And then they go off into the woods. They go off into the woods, and then a baby comes out.
Listen to Gene pulling out his elephant humor. That's gonna be a clip.
Oh, that's a soundbite right there. We're good on that one.
And next thing you know, here's the baby elephant, and then now we see Calm because we see him as a kid, and then that's at the very, very beginning of the movie, and then a couple of minutes into it, we see him. He's grown up. He's like a teenager, or either in his late teens or in his early 20s, and then he is more attached to the little one, the little elephant. After that. So I was just wondering, like, what happened to all these other guys? Because we see them. We saw there was a bunch of those protectors. I would have thought if something happened and the rest of those guys had got wiped out, if this guy is really the last one, like, why is he hanging around? Like, they should have just got rid of the elephants, gave it to the king, and said, hey, I guess our job is done. I can't protect this whole herd by myself.
Now, where's this king they're talking about?
Well, we never see the king.
That's exactly what I was wondering.
Yeah. You know what? If I was Calm, that's what I would have did. I would say, hey, I would have went to the king and said, I need some help to get these two elephants back. It's just me. And because that kind of took me out of the movie as I was watching it. Because, Joe, like you said, I liked the martial arts in the movie, but it just wasn't believable. Like he's beating up all these guys, like literally about 50 people. Yeah. And he's beating these people up. And none of these people had any type of weapon. I mean, every now and then you might see a knife or one gun. But at one point in time, like, he was beating up drug dealers. You mean to tell me drug dealers only had one gun? What they doing, just passing around each other when it's time to shoot somebody? That was silly.
Okay, but what's the other thing that had me kind of take it, like, how did he know where they were going? How did he know
they never
where
explained.
They were taking the elephant?
That must have had got.
He just showed up.
Yeah, well, he did go to that. He did go to that guy's house. He went to that guy's house. So one of those guys was like, I don't know if was he a cousin or not, because he called his dad. He called Calm's dad uncle. Now I don't know if that's just something that people say to the elders. If that's just a nickname they give people, I don't know. But I think he ended up going to his house, and they ended up saying that Johnny has the elephants or something to that effect. Well, at least that's what's in Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then he goes to Australia. So he leaves Thailand and goes to Sydney, Australia to get his animals. And once again, another thing I was thinking was, okay, say you are successful and you get your elephants back. How in the hell are you going to get the elephants back to Thailand? You're not going to go buy them an airline ticket. You're not putting elephants on a plane. That type of stuff took me out of the movie entirely. I also, like I was telling our producer, this movie actually made money. the budget was $5 million. In the box office, they made $27 million.
If I'm correct, hold on. If I'm correct, I'm gonna tell you why. Let me see. I feel like this came after Umbach. That's why.
Yeah.
So he already made such a great So Umbach came first, and then actually Umbach 2 and 3 came after The Protector. So yeah, the reason why it made money was because when he made Umbach, that was like Tony Jaa's like claim to fame. Like he made that movie and everyone watched Umbach, and then when The Protector came out, it was almost like it's like when Jean-Claude did Kickboxer after Bloodsport. Like everyone wanted to see the next movie that he was going to come out with. So that's probably why. Not saying it wasn't good or it was good. Just saying numbers wise, that's why I got the numbers it did.
Now he didn't do a bad job acting at all. Like
no, he's actually a pretty good actor. He's actually
It was just kind of I don't know, man. I just think it's just I think it was just the editing of this movie and how they put it together. It just seemed weird. It just didn't seem right.
It was bad storytelling, and it was just, I don't know, it was goofy.
I got to tell you, though, I think this might have been one of the movies that has the most action out of all the movies we watched, because I think it was more action than dialogue, honestly, in this movie. What do you guys think?
Well, yeah, it needed to be, because... Well, I'm just saying, like, even like the police officer was just like, some of that was making no sense. Like he goes, he catches a robbery, he lets the guy go, and then he's got a partner that seems very incompetent, but the guy seemed like he was a better cop than the regular guy, and then the other guy was getting in trouble because of the incompetence of the other guy, but really the other guy just wasn't speaking up.
Yeah, you're probably going to confuse a lot of people with that. Whoever didn't see this movie.
They'll figure it out real quick.
I got it. Yeah, Angel, did you have anything you were trying to add?
No.
Mark was the regular police officer, and his partner. Is his partner on here?
I'm not sure. So basically, what happens is his dad tells Calm that I guess the king wanted to inspect the elephant, well, the big elephant, the one that kind of grew up. He wanted to inspect him. So they take him
checking for royalty.
Yeah, checking for royalty. Because they said
the elephant for royalty. I wonder.
I don't know. Well, you saw they lifted his head up and they had him open up his mouth and had him open up his trunk. You know, making sure that he was all right. I guess.
Anytime you say trunk now, I'm never gonna think like a normal thought. Like that's just nasty.
Well, you know, he does some things, you know. So you saw he had a woman. So let's talk about that. So his wife didn't last long in this movie.
Nope.
Pretty much after that scene where they have the baby, poachers tried to take the baby, and the mom shows up to protect the baby. And the poachers, because they're scared, they shoot, and she gets shot and dies. The elephant is there also. The other elephant. What is his name? Can you pronounce this name?
The fact that we're even talking like this, I feel like we're talking about
elephant. The elephant was like Payo or something like Payo.
Like the fact that we're talking like this, I feel like we're talking about an extreme Disney movie, like the most extreme Disney movie you'll see. Like this is,
you know what? Disney probably would have made this sweet as hell. Honestly, there would have been a monkey helping this guy out and everything. He would have had a monkey. He probably would have had some other type of animal helping him, like a lizard or something. And they all talk to him.
Like we're talking about, like we're saying, like, and then the other elephant. And then what was her name? And then didn't they work together? Like what? Like our listeners are probably listening, thinking we're on crack. Like this is crazy.
That's why I said the plot of this movie was all over the place.
Yeah.
And I think the second one's worse. I think the second one's like,
hey, I was gonna
a statue or something.
Hey, listen, I was gonna tell y'all, I was gonna be like, hey, can we like do what we did with American Ninja on this one? can we cut this one short? I know we got it. I know we need another week of something, but please, like,
yeah, but the karate is good. The martial arts is great.
Yeah,
I mean,
is.
if I was going to tell people to do anything, just skip to the fight scenes.
And most of the movie is fight scenes, honestly.
Yeah, because I mean, it's got for me normally like it's got some really good Muay Thai.
Mhm.
Then they bring in some capoeira, some wushu, some wrestling.
Let's talk about that, man. That was the first time I ever saw a capoeira, and it looked like a badass fighting style. Any other time I've seen capoeira, it's always just looked like a dance to me, right?
Because they kept it simple. They didn't try to do all the crazy shit like they do. They do the sweet kicks. They do the L kick, and they they used simple moves, and then they put it in the water with the fire, and it made it look a little cooler. It was interesting.
Yeah, this looked real. This capoeira looked really, really good. That was the best capoeira fight scene I've ever seen. Actually, best capoeira I've ever seen. My opinion. I have not seen a lot of capoeira, but that was really good. I enjoyed that fight scene a lot. The elephants grow up. Well, the little one, he gets a little older, and then that's when they're going to take the bigger elephant to be checked by the king. They go there for whatever reason. The dad had a bad feeling about what was going on, and he said that they couldn't take it. They couldn't take the elephant, and then a fight breaks out, and they ended up killing the dad. So Kam's dad is now dead. And the elephant Poryam or Porya, whatever his name is, he ends up getting into a fight. he ends up fighting these poachers, and he starts. They get scared and they're running away from him. He's chasing them through the streets of Thailand, and then the little elephant is following behind him also. But then he gets caught, and then the bigger elephant sees that they caught his son, and then he goes after them, and then they both eventually get caught. They end up getting put in this truck and driving away. Then Kam goes over to where his dad is. He sees his dad laid out on the ground, and then he just gives chase and starts going after those guys.
His dad was basically like, "Don't worry about me. Go get the elephant."
Mm-hmm.
For real? Not that serious.
Well, I mean, that was their job. I mean, who knows? Who knows what the king would have said? Like, you lost my elephant.
We never saw the king.
Well, we know that he was there. We know that royalty was there. Those are not their elephants. That was the royal elephants.
Maybe the time for kings and queens had passed, and they're just not ready to move on. So they're trying to just live that life.
So like you said earlier, Joe, Kam ends up finding out that these guys they have taken the elephants to Sydney, Australia. Somehow he got some money because he got a plane ticket and he flew there. I'm assuming he got money for protecting these elephants because it didn't seem like him and his dad had a job.
I know, right?
It seemed like they just lived in the jungle with these elephants and the other protectors. But he ends up going to Sydney, Australia to get his elephants back. As soon as he gets there, bad luck. He gets into a cab that's being stolen.
Yep.
And then the police give chase. What did you guys think of this chase?
It was odd. It was just all over the place. And then even crazier, when they do finally catch him, they basically, thanks to Kam, he disarmed the guy thinking that they had all their guns on, and he tried to take Kam hostage.
Mm-hmm.
And some random guy shows up and shoots him.
Yeah.
And tries to shoot Kam.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
that should have been explained, which it never was. Like, why did that guy shoot at him? Like, he shouldn't have known who Kam was.
I'm guessing well, maybe he just assumed Kam was with that guy. Or do you think he was after Kam?
I think he was after Kam.
Yeah, that was odd. So maybe he was a mole. Who was with
My
the-
thing was like why would he have been looking after or waiting for Calm? Like how
No,
did he
you're
know he
right.
was? It
You're
didn't
right.
it did not make sense.
Well, because
But
they never explained it, but that has to be what it was.
right, I exactly, because there's no way that he would have thought because Calm had a gun to his head, so
Yeah.
they knew that Calm wasn't with this guy. They
Yeah.
knew that he was a hostage.
So to try and make sense of it, because when he came into the Sydney, the guy that looked at his passport kind of looked at it for a long time. So let's assume maybe he called the gangsters and said so. I mean, that would all be something along the lines had to happen to where
Oh.
somebody told somebody where
I
they
don't know
were.
why. I don't know why Calm had a passport. If you watch this movie, you do not think of these people as having any money or anything.
True.
They don't seem like they would have needed money for anything.
Yeah.
Their whole job was to train and protect these animals, and that's
they
what it
just
seems
basically live in the forest or whatever in the woods.
All right, so the police end up taking Calm because he runs away, but they end up catching up to him.
Yeah.
And now one of the guys is from Thailand. That was a little confusing also because one guy could not understand, the other guy could understand.
Yeah.
And then he ends up seeing Johnny as he's with these guys. The main poacher, his people.
Yes.
He ends up seeing him at a restaurant, and he's trying to explain to the cop that that's the guy I'm looking for, but the guy doesn't understand English. So when Mark, and that's a weird name, like Mark, really that's your name?
He didn't look like a Mark.
All of these other names that we got in this movie, but this guy, that's this police officer who was Thai, his name was Mark. Okay. He tells him, and you would have thought that he would have believed him. He already knew that he was a hostage.
Yeah.
As why they arrested him, they were just following orders. Reason why they arrested him. But you would have thought they would have said, "Okay, let's go investigate Johnny. Let's go talk to Johnny or something." They didn't. They just said, pretty much just shut up. We're going to take you to. We're going to book you.
Some of the way Mark was acting made me wonder if he was on the take.
Yeah, I wondered that too. Angel, you got anything, man?
Well, my bad. While you guys were talking, I was looking up some of the box offices for some of his other movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the next one did not do good at all.
The one that came after this movie?
Yeah, he budget was 12 to 15 million, and they only made 2.
Oh yeah.
And then for Ombak, remember how we said that was his famous one?
Mm-hmm.
The first one, I forgot what the first one did, but the second one it had a budget of 8 million, and it only made 8,900,000.
No, they
and
lost.
They lost. They lost. All right. It was not good. I'm looking up Umbach 1 right now, really quick. Of course.
See, I thought all 3 of those movies were decent movies, if I remember.
The second one I didn't like too much, and then the first Umbach, the reason why he became so famous was because the budget was only 1.1 million, and they made 21 million on the first one. So that's where the whole remember I was his fame blew up from that movie. But I don't know. I just feel like when I watch this, I know this could have been my mistake also. I feel like I watched this expecting I was watching Umbach. I knew it was the Protector, but in my mind, I only saw him for Umbach in a way. When you just have actors that they just play that one role, don't matter. They could go do a romantic a rom-com, and you're still gonna see them as. I'm still gonna see Mike Tyson as Mike Tyson. He could sit there and tell a girl he loves her and all that. I'm still gonna say, yeah, you still Mike Tyson. You're still gonna bite her ear off. It's just there's no way I'm not gonna see. There's no way I'm not gonna see someone a certain way. So I think that played a part in this movie, man. That was a big reason why I was kind of all off with the movie. I didn't really like it that much. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was gonna tell y'all I'm gonna watch American Ninja 2. That was gonna be my next thing.
Hey, Angel, you know, if it was Mike Tyson, he might ask the girl if she wants to see his trunks too. No, right?
And we saw how that went the first time, right?
Hey, I'm talking about his boxing trunks, man. What are you doing? What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Of course. You set me up, so I walk right into that one, right? Of course. Now Gene has two sound. Now we have two sound bites from this one. That's gonna be good. Yo,
All right.
we post this and Mike Tyson says he's gonna kill me.
Yeah, that sounds like something that would happen to you.
That sounds like something that would happen to me, and it sounds like something he would do. Yo, that's crazy.
That's what you get
Mike
for talking
Tyson, he
about.
could take a joke. Just don't mess with him too much on a plane. That's
Yeah,
all.
we saw that. Yeah, that joke went really good, right? That guy got his face busted open. I swear to God, though, this is where they messed up. I watched 2 movies where he got his ass beat. I'll go to my Wing Chun. They don't want that, okay? Because I'll hit him with It Man. And then the next thing is when we saw Kickboxer and they were kicking soccer balls at him and he didn't know what the hell to do. I'll kick a soccer ball at him. Don't play.
Just certain people I wouldn't play with. I wouldn't play with Mike Tyson. I don't give a damn. I wouldn't play tag with Mike Tyson. I'm not playing with Mike Tyson.
Like, no joke. I feel like everyone thought like, oh, he's so calm now, we could do whatever until that ass beating on the plane happened. And it showed like, nah, he's still a real dude. Like,
yeah,
he'll fuck you up. Like, don't play.
Yeah. So eventually, he ends up getting away. Calm ends up getting away, and he ends up going after Johnny. And he finds out. Well, you know what? He ends up getting one of Johnny's crew, and he made him take him to where Johnny was. Johnny was. It looks like he was in the middle of a drug deal or something, and Calm ends up showing up, and this kind of took me out of it because there's no way a drug deal is going down without guns. That's just not happening anywhere. But you know, he shows up. He ends up fighting them, and the fight scenes, like, I have no complaint. The fight scenes were all good. I thought it was crazy that they were beating his ass with fluorescent lights.
Yeah.
Hey, hold up. Have you noticed that that's like a big thing over there? Fluorescent lights?
No,
because that's okay, whatever.
I know it was big in wrestling, but I didn't know about in Thailand.
Like something with fluorescent lights in Thailand, because when we watched Ninja 2, the one where he went to Thailand to get the revenge for them killing his wife, he was doing like drugs through a fluorescent light and all that, and they do have like mad fluorescent lights in his back of his trunk. I'm just saying, like, that's just something I've noticed, like, throughout movies that take place in Thailand. Fluorescent lights somehow always have their way being in the movie. So I don't know what it is, but just a little observation.
Do they manufacture it over there? Do you know?
I thought it was Pakistan.
I don't know.
Maybe just because they look cool when you break them over someone's head.
Don't explain for smoking it, but okay.
You guys got anything else you guys want to speak on when it comes to this scene? Anything at all? Now, does he?
I mean, it's random.
Now he takes a pretty good beating because he like kind of passes out, right?
Yeah.
And he is found by what's her name? Paya. She's a prostitute.
Them damn prostitutes, boy, they'll do you.
She finds him
job
and takes him home. Now the only reason she takes him home is because he was tied. Did that seem weird to you?
Very.
Yeah, that seemed pretty weird to me also.
That he was tied?
No, the only reason she took him home because he was tied. Because she knew him. She knew that he was tied. And she was just walking by and saw him knocked out and laid out, so she took him home. Like, what? Why would she do that? Like, if he was just a normal guy that she, like, you know, if he was Japanese, would she have taken him home? Probably not. You know, she was from Thailand also, but still, like, just taking a random stranger home for what? I just didn't get that either.
I mean, did she watch him fight them?
I don't know, but
if he was fighting them and she needed some stuff from them, maybe she thought he could help.
I don't know. To me, it seemed like she would have kept her distance because Johnny was somebody that she was cool with because we saw them talking earlier in the movie.
Yo,
And I don't think that she should have taken his enemy home. That just seemed like a dumb thing to do,
unless
unless
a dumb risk.
unless she would call call Johnny and say, hey, I got, that guy, I got him here in my apartment, come get him or whatever. I don't know. But he is in her apartment asleep. He wakes up and he hears sirens coming. Now, before that, Paya, she ends up going to work. She ends up going to work. And the police commissioner is at this place. He's in a hot tub with some other gangster. I don't know who this guy was. I don't remember. I don't even think they even said who he was. But they're in this hot tub and with two other prostitutes. Then Paya comes in, and then that's when the police come in. And this guy, he has a hood on. They made it seem like we would have known who he was the way they did it.
Yeah, very odd.
And then when he took his hood off, it was just some random guy. He came in, he shot the police commissioner, then he shot the gangster and the two girls. Then he shot Mark's partner.
Yep.
And then another guy comes in, and it's that same guy from the street that we saw earlier who killed the taxi cab driver and also tried to shoot Com. Now this time, he shoots at Mark, but he just shoots his hand or whatever. And then that's when we see Com wake up, and the police are coming to Paya's apartment. I guess somebody saw him in there and alerted the police. I guess I don't know. That was it was strange. It was weird.
You know what else is crazy? I don't remember if it was the scene before this or after this one, but when he went into like the massage place and the guy had all the cups on his back.
Yeah. That was earlier.
With the cupping, I guess they call it.
Yeah.
Where they put the jars and he hit them all and he slammed them against the wall.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that would feel great.
I did like the knee strikes that Com was doing in this movie. Like the double knee strikes, the single knee strikes. I like how he did that. That looked nice. To
me, I've always said if you're fighting against like more than one opponent, take out their knee, man. That's unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
9 times out of 10, unless you're in a Muay Thai fight, nobody's gonna expect you to just kick someone in the knee, bring them to your level.
Leg kicks all day.
Hey man, like I said, if you're in a regular street fight, man, most people don't expect that.
No. So eventually, Com ends up getting up, and he ends up finding out where Johnny's place is. And I don't know, this building was weird because there are different levels, and Com is going up to each flight, and he's fighting all of these people.
Yeah.
Okay, Angel. Yep. He's fighting all of these different guys as he's going up from level to level to level to level to level. That seemed weird to me, Joe.
That was like Game of Death.
Yeah, that's probably what Game of Death was supposed to be like in Bruce Lee's original movie.
Yeah.
But to me, it's still, once again, all of these people, there are people standing around watching, and then people running up. Still, nobody has a gun. Everybody's coming at him one at a time instead of all at one time. He's throwing people over
these
the
are terrible gangsters.
Yeah.
These are terrible gangsters.
Yeah.
And then the gun thing, I mean, my only guess for that is like overseas, it's a lot harder to get a gun. But I mean, you would think if you're a group of gangsters.
Yeah, these are the bad guys, though.
No, you're right. You're right. I'm just saying. I mean, maybe that's what they're going with, but yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. So what did you think about when he got to the top floor and you saw what was going on up there? It was a restaurant.
A restaurant for exotic foods.
Yeah, and that was disgusting. When I saw that was disgusting, man. That was absolutely nasty.
Yeah, but there's I don't know if it's considered a myth or not, but there's like big time rich people that like will pay to try and find like the most exotic food to try.
That's so weird. Like,
I agree.
why would you not? This was not happening. Well, actually, it did happen. But I never saw a monkey and said, I want to eat that monkey. I want to try some monkey.
I know, man.
That, not no real monkey. I want to eat a real monkey. Not that. You know. That's crazy. But they had these animals in cages. We see turtle shells. We see somebody eating a scorpion. So the only thing I could think of was these elephants were killed so people can eat them.
Yeah.
And when I started thinking that was the plot of the movie, I said, this is weird as hell. This
and not only that, but I mean, Cobb started looking around. He was getting pissed.
Yeah,
he was looking around thinking that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And they didn't ease his mind one bit. They didn't ease his mind one bit because they took the bell that he had got for his elephant and threw it at him. Like, yeah, I cut your elephant up in little pieces and ate him.
Pretty much. But
and he got pissed because he was getting his ass kicked. He was getting his ass kicked by that main guy.
Yeah, Johnny.
And he wrapped that belt around his hand of the bell, and then he just started teeing off on that dude.
Yeah, and and during that fight, he ends up going in the back room. That's when he starts seeing the animals that were still alive, that weren't dead yet. So he saw some monkeys and some other exotic animals. And then that's when he found Corn, who was the little elephant, his elephant. He saw him in there. And somehow he was able to get him out of that building. Do you think they took an elevator? They took a dumbwaiter? Like, how did he get
something? Who knows?
How did he get? Because he went up high. That was a high building. He was on the top floor where that restaurant was, and he was fighting.
What's that silly movie? Operation Dumbo Drop.
Yeah.
But didn't they have a helicopter for that?
I don't know, man. But there was a helicopter in this movie too, though. later on in the end.
Sure the hell was.
He ends up getting down to the main floor, and Mark is there, and Mark is going to smuggle him and the elephant away.
Of course he is.
And somebody that they knew or Mark knew ends up telling them to go to this. Was it a temple or was it a church? Something like that. Yeah, something like that. They ended up hiding out at, which wasn't a really good place because the police put it out there that they were looking for Mark for possibly killing the commissioner. So because they had his gun when he got shot in his head, he dropped his gun. So I'm assuming I don't know.
They were trying to set him up. They were trying to set Cobb up. I mean, they kept trying to make it seem like everybody was not the bad guy that was bad.
Yeah, but and the news was looking for him also because the news kept putting it out there that we're looking for someone in a red scarf, a Thai man in a red scarf. That's all they kept saying. I would have thought that Cobb would have just got rid of that red scarf then,
right?
And then just blended in with everybody. That would have made his life a lot easier. At this temple, they are Mark is recognized because he's a popular police officer. I guess his beat is downtown, so everyone knows who he is. So he is seen at this temple. And for some reason, Mark notices that someone notices him. So then he tells Cobb, I think we should leave. And this is the part I was talking about earlier. Somebody recognized him, said, oh, that's Mark. And I'm assuming they called Johnny. We see Mark and Cobb in a vehicle riding away. And then he says, I think we should go back. That's all. That's the entire scene right there. I think we should go back. And they flip it around, and the whole church is on fire. were you confused when you saw that scene, or were you pissed because that was
Yeah,
dumb as hell?
it was very odd. It was like something was missing. Like, where did this fire come from?
Yeah. Why wasn't it explained? And then when they get back there, man, it was like, I don't know, like it's the way they designed it and set stuff up. There was the capoeira guy. He's sitting there. He's sitting there almost like at the pulpit almost, while flames are going around. There was so much water on the ground. It looked like a pool. Water would not have fell like this. And you know, if they had a sprinkler system, it would not have been that much water in there. Not at all. And he was sitting there like we saw him already in the movie. It was like he was sitting there waiting for us to say, "Oh yeah, now this is going to be a good fight." We've been waiting to see these. We've been waiting to see these two guys go at it all movie. And I was just thinking, like, who is this guy? Where did this guy come from?
Same thing.
But they did have a good fight.
Yeah, it was a good fight.
Yeah. Now explain, Joe. Help me out. Who was the woman in this movie?
Rose?
Who was she? Like they made her seem like she was the big bad.
I think she wanted to be the big bad, but I don't think she was. It was, she was a part of that family of gangsters. Now, I guess they were the gangsters that everybody else was with, but it seemed like they were separate from that. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but she wanted to be the head gangster, and whoever the main guy that was talking wanted to name anyone but her as like his successor.
So she started killing people. She started killing people, the next people that were in line to this guy. I guess she poisoned them or something.
Oh yeah, she wasn't playing.
Yeah.
She was like, option number 1 is dead. Option number 2 also dead.
Right.
Well, I guess I'm the only one left. Sorry.
Right. Pretty much. Let me see. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit.
I feel like I saw that coming from a mile away anyway.
What, me skipping ahead or no.
her killing people. She just seemed like I thought she was gonna do it earlier.
Yeah. This big guy. So Calm ends up fighting the capoeira guy. He beats this guy. He beats him up. And then
this whole thing was random because, like, where were these people even coming from? Like, he beats the crap out of one, wins that fight, and then literally another person just shows up.
Yep. And this guy was huge. He looked like he was a wrestler or something.
That's what I said, but I looked him up. He don't got no wrestling name I recognize.
Yeah, this guy was absolutely huge. And these people were sitting around waiting like they knew Calm and Mark were going to come back. Because why? If they had already been there, they had already killed people. Because we see the priests or some of the religious people, they were on the ground dying.
I'm telling you, there's a missing scene or something. Like,
there's a lot of missing stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of missing stuff. But the bad guys are pretty much just still hanging around waiting. You know. Anyway, so Calm does fight this guy, and he can't beat him up. This big guy, he's fighting him, and he's getting knocked around a little bit. I don't even know why they stopped fighting. Did Calm just run away? He just ran away. Mark came in and got him, and they ran away. Because I don't know why Mark wasn't fighting. We didn't see him doing shit. He didn't do anything.
Nope.
He shows up later. Next scene, they go away. Calm and Mark are talking somewhere. Looks like Mark decided to go to sleep in a park or something.
Yeah, what the hell was that all about?
I don't know. And because as he's sleeping, we see him wake up, and next thing we know, we see Calm walking through the streets of Sydney, Australia, with the elephant. Like they were both badass. And this is a baby elephant. This is not a full-grown elephant. This is a baby elephant. And they're walking like they're going to handle business together. Like you might as well have an explosion in their background as they're walking.
I thought they were going to give us one. Why not?
And they end up going into this building. I have no idea why they went to this building or how they knew where to go, where the bad guys were going to be there. I don't remember how they knew where to go. But they go, into this building where there looks like a press conference is taking place, and I guess this woman is declaring that she is the new head of a company or something. I don't know. And this is the scene where we get the one gun. We see this one gun. All these security guards in this place. Calm shows up and starts beating people up. Him and the elephant, and then we see one gun.
Boo.
And then Mark somehow is on the elevator. He comes off the elevator and shoots the guy and shoots some other people. And then Calm and the elephant end up going upstairs to the top floor of this building because they think the elephant is up there. And they get up there. There's a bunch of people. There's about 50 of these bad guys up there. And Calm is just beating them down. Well, he does that. Well, he does that because he had a lot of anger and rage. Because the woman and her assistant tells Calm that they pretty much, hey, we got the elephant. He's right here, and it was his skeletons. It was a skeleton of him, and it looked like they had dipped his bones in gold. So poor Yah had been dead. So I guess his flesh, his meat was at that restaurant. Yeah, I don't think they would have threw it away if they had already been serving it to people, serving these exotic animals to these people. So they probably cut the elephant up. And at first I was wondering if it was really him, if it was really going to be the elephant. But as emotional as they made that scene, I started thinking it must really be him. Because we see Calm, he's on his knees, he's screaming, he's crying, he's showing a lot of pain that he's in. And then they're showing flashbacks of him growing up with the elephant. And then he starts getting his butt kicked a little bit. And,
he's been fighting this whole movie. About to tire out eventually.
This is the first time we even see him slow down.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, because like you said, he's been fighting the entire movie. We saw him go to sleep once, and that was pretty much it. You know, he should have been fatigued. He should have been hurt. He should have been banged up. All of that. So he's pretty much in rage mode at this point, and he's destroying everybody, single-handed, without a weapon. And then a couple of those bad guys come back. The big guy comes back. He fights him. He ends up getting thrown into the elephant bones, and then it was other bigger guys like him.
Yeah. Yep.
And he ends up getting thrown. Calm ends up getting thrown into the bones of the elephant. He ends up taking the bones and using those as weapons to fight with. You know, and that was pretty cool because he was beating them up with the bones, and then the bones started breaking, and then he started hitting them in different arteries and things, cutting their Achilles and hitting them in pressure points and taking these guys out.
Messing them up.
Yeah. And then after he wipes all those guys away, then he goes after the girl, the lady, and that little guy that was with her, was like his assistant. At first I thought he was flying the helicopter because they never showed of anyone flying. We see him sitting in a seat. I thought he was flying and trying to get away.
Me too.
What did you think? I kind of like the fact that every now and then when Khan was getting the best of those big guys when he was fighting, she would interject with a whip and she will just whip him, and it would take him out of the fight and weaken him a little bit. Did you like that at all?
I mean, it was interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So then they're fighting on the roof. Now this part was weird. At one point in time, while they're on the roof, you know, they're trying to get away. The lady's trying to get away. Her little sister's trying to get away. He ends up knocking people off of the helicopter. They're hanging on to the helicopter. And she's trying to fly away. She's hanging on to it as the helicopter is flying away. And he runs and jumps and knees her and knocks her off of the helicopter. And he does not attempt to grab onto the helicopter himself. He falls also. I'm assuming she dies because we never see her again. We don't see her body or anything.
Nothing.
and somehow he survives. He falls through the building, the roof of the building, or a window, and the elephant's tusk catches him.
Of course it did. Oh, of course it did.
I would have thought that still with the force of him falling down throughout the sky, like he should have still went through the elephant's tusk and still hit the
At least
concrete. Something.
At least be some kind of injured or something.
Yeah, something. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of the movie, man. The police captain is no longer wanted by the Sydney, Australia police. His name has been cleared, and so has the the man with the what did they say?
Scarf.
The red scarf. His name has been and I didn't even realize that was Mark talking at the end of the movie. I just thought it was just some
for real?
I just thought it was just some random narrator talking at the end of the movie.
I didn't catch that either.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. End of the movie. We should have got Angel's Grave before he left. But what do you give this movie?
It. Like I said, so I'm gonna do the whole movie as a whole. So I like the karate movie, the story. It needs a lot of work, like you said, even the editing. But I'm still gonna give it a C because I mean it was decent to watch.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad movie. It was not Street Fighter. It was not Street Fighter. So or Double Dragon. It wasn't either one of those. So it was watchable. It's just confusing. And like I said, I think it has a lot to do with how they edited it or how they, I don't know, did the screenplay. I don't know, but something just seemed off with this movie. But I give it a C- myself.
Yeah.
All right.
That's pretty. Sounds about right.
Yeah. Anything else, man? You got anything else you want to talk about when it comes to this?
No, I mean, I've been catching up on Cobra Kai. I'm getting excited for that.
Next weekend.
I know. So, and that'll be because I got the wedding coming up this weekend. So
that's right.
Perfect timing.
That's right.
Perfect timing. Nothing standing in my way.
And I'm headed out to DC. I'm getting on the road Thursday. Headed to DC. Me and Melissa, my cousins, retiring. So that's gonna be a nice. I'm excited, man. You know, having these next few days off, man. You know, Thursday through Monday, I get to have off for a change and just get to relax a little bit. I'm not sure about recording next week though, because unless you and Angel want to do it. I mean, both you and I both have obligations this weekend. So I'm not even sure when I would even be able to watch a movie. And I'm coming back from DC. Me and Melissa are driving out there. So we're driving back. We're driving back on Monday.
Well, I'll see what Angel's up to and see what I can figure out.
Okay. All right.
Because well, I watch them at work a lot of times.
Okay.
If they're in English, that's the best. If I would see, I started this one at work, but I'm like, I can't read all this while I'm working. But, you know, it's kind of when I do it at work, it's in the background. It's like, you know, I'm still working, so.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of stationary, so it's cool. So you know, you set things up and watch it. As long as I can hear it, I'm like, okay, I get the gist of the movie. And then if there's an action scene, I'll pause it and wait till I get a minute where I can actually watch it. But yeah. When I gotta read it and I have no idea what's going on in the story, I'm like, nope, that's not gonna happen. So I came home and watched it. And I was like, dang.
You know,
most of it was in English finally.
Joe, you know what? I just saw something. So the movie's playing in the background right now, and I just took a look at it, and I saw something that I thought I saw before. So during this last fight scene, when Carm is fighting the big guy, when the big guy shows back up the fight,
yeah.
I thought I saw the big guy swing the elephant around and throw him. And I was thinking like maybe I was tired when I saw it. I said, no, that because he does it again, but this time I see him in this car. I'm watching it right now. He does throw the elephant. He spins the elephant around and throws him. That is I've never seen nobody swing an elephant around and throw him before.
Because I don't think it's possible.
Somebody actually said this would be a good idea for this man, this human. This is not a superhero movie. They said for this human man to pick an elephant up and swing him around and throw. I don't care if it's a baby elephant. I'm not picking up an elephant. That's just not happening. I can't do it.
It's not gonna happen.
All right, man. That is it for this episode of Fist Kicks a Flick. You got any closing remarks or anything, man?
No, I'm good.
All right, so I'm gonna let you and Angel decide if you guys want to watch The Protector 2 next week, or what we're gonna do. I have no idea what we're gonna do.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out, and then the week after that, we're gonna start our Cobra Kai season 5.
Yes,
all right,
sir.
Nothing else. All right,
nothing else.
All right, cool. Everybody out there, stay safe, stay strong. We'll holler at you next week. Producer, play our music.
Disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.